Hello, class. So today we will discuss lesson 2, and lesson 2 is all about the types of visual arts. So there are three basic types of visual arts. So subcategories exist in each of these types, and often these types are misrepresented or more often misunderstood. So whether the work is a three-dimensional sculptures or two-dimensional, it will still fall under one of these three main types. So we have the three types of visual arts: the representational art, abstract art, or a non-objective or non-representational art. Okay, so as you can see here, this is an this is a sculpture entitled Pieta by Michelangelo. Now let's discuss the first type of art. So this is known as the representational art. So what do we mean by representational art? So representational artwork aims to represent actual objects or subjects from reality. So it's simply to say that there is a basis for this art, and the basis is from the reality. So we have here a good example. So I'm sure you are familiar with this painting. This is Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. So who is the subject in this painting? Alright, so most of you will answer Mona Lisa, because Mona Lisa is very obvious that she is the main focus on this painting, and that is what representational art is all about. Okay, so we can easily identify with recognizable subjects in a painting, drawing, or sculpture. So in our previous slides, we have seen Pieta by Michelangelo, and it is obvious that the main subject in that sculpture is, of course, Mama Mary and Jesus Christ. Now, this makes representational art widely accepted among masses. So this is the most common type of art around the world. Representational art also represents the largest collection of artworks created, considering that the other two types, the abstract and non-objective, are relatively new types of arts. This makes perfect sense. So yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, representational kinds of arts are the most popular and has the largest collection of artworks around the world, since this is the first type of art that people have practiced a long time ago. So representational art has gone through many phases and movements, yet the principle of presenting the viewers with recognizable subject matter has stayed the same. So yeah, as long as there is a clear subject on the art, whether it's a sculpture, a painting, so that is representational, or photography, yeah, so that is representational. It is worth noting that some representational art flirts with abstraction. So it could be said that some representational artwork happens to be more realistic, while other forms focus on the artist's perception of the subject. So yeah, there can be an instance where representational art has influenced by abstraction, but still we can identify the clear subject matter. These are some of the examples of representational arts. So aside from Mona Lisa, so we also have paintings like this. So this is the White Ox at Siena in 1910 by John Singer Sargent. So what is the main subject of this painting? Yeah, it is the white ox. And this is the Fisherman from Valencia in 1895 by Joaquin Sorolla. So who or what is the subject, or who are the subjects in this painting? Yes, that's right, the fisherman from Valencia. Here in the Philippines, we also have famous paintings, yeah, and famous artists. So most especially Fernando Amorsolo. And yeah, this is one of his paintings. This is the Fruit Gatherer, painted in 1950. Okay, so who is the subject in this painting? So it is clear that it's the girl, yeah, or the fruit gatherer. And also in this painting, this is Dalagang Bukid in 1958. So the subject matter is very clear. So that is representational art, guys. Alright, so the next one is abstract art. So what is an abstract art? I'm sure you're familiar with the term abstract. So abstract art, often misunderstood type of art known as abstraction, aims to take subjects from reality but presents them in the way that is different from the way they are viewed in our reality. So it means in abstract art, so they have reference from real life, but they showed it in a different way through their paintings. Okay, so this may take the form of emphasizing lines, shapes, or colors that transform the subject. So in abstract art, you can observe some exaggeration on the shapes, the colors, yeah, but then the subject is based on reality. So abstract art includes the subcategories of minimalism, cubism, and precisionism. So here is an example of an abstract art. This is W1 in 1921 by Piet Mondrian. So this painting has become an inspiration um, for architects and fashion designers. Yeah, so these are the subcategories of abstract art. First is we have the minimalism. Okay, so minimalism revolves around the idea that art should create its meaning and not be a carbon copy of anything else. So minimalist art involves no aim. So they have no aim to reflect an external reality. Instead, the artist wants the audience to react only to what is before their eyes. So, for example, we have this artwork by Ellsworth Kelly entitled Yellow Piece in 1966. So, yeah, that's it. That's just as simple as it is. So, the artist just wants to convey color yellow in this in this style. So it's very simple. So next subcategory of abstract art is Cubism. So Cubism was a revolutionary new approach to representing reality invented in around 1907 to 1908 by artists Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque. So Pablo Picasso is one of the most popular artists around the world, and his arts are usually abstract. Okay, usually cubism ang style. So they brought different views of subjects. So usually the subjects are objects or figures by someone or something in reality, okay, together in the same picture, resulting in paintings that appear fragmented and abstracted. So in cubism, the lines are kind of pointed and exaggerated, and also the colors are so bright. So for example, so this one is the portrait of Dora Maar, painted by Pablo Picasso in 1937. So this is oil painting. And Dora Maar is actually the lover of Pablo Picasso. So this is how he made her portrait. Diba? As you can see, the colors are kind of exaggerated as well as the lines and the shapes. Next is precisionism. Precisionism, smooth, sharply defined painting style used by several American artists in representational canvases executed primarily during the 1920s. So precisionism also takes its inspiration from cubism. As you can see, it also has a pointed lines, yeah, so use, but the colors are kind of smooth. Okay, so yeah, this is used by American artists in the 1920s. So this is an example. We have Machinery in 1920, painted by Charles Demuth. So he is an American artist. Now, this is Precisionism. And again, these three are subcategories of abstract art. Alright, additionally, abstraction can also happen when artist decides to view the subjects in a traditional manner. Yeah, so abstraction is relatively new to the art world, having its earliest roots in the deviations from reality taken by the impressionist. So abstraction again is again taken from reality, but they just want to show it in a different way or in a very artistic or creative way. So it began to gain popularity in various forms around the world at the end of the 19th century. So artists begins to take more intellectual approach to paint. So not just by literally copying someone, okay, but they also want to express it in a different way, or they want to represent the image in a more artistic or creative way. So this is also an example of an abstract art. Yeah, the Boulevard Montmartre at Night by Camille Pissarro. So it kind of looks like a blurry and rainy, but yeah, so this is how the painter or the artist wants to give us the view of the Boulevard Montmartre at night. Oftentimes, abstract art and or there is a confusion between abstract art and non-objective or non-representational art. So now let's see what are the differences between the two. So the clear difference lies in the subject matter chosen. So we will have to or we need to look at the subject matter. So what is this who or what is the subject of the painting or of the artist? So if the artist begins with a subject from reality, the artwork is considered to be abstract. Okay, so again, in representational art, so we have a direct subject from reality, but in abstract art, so our subject is taken from reality, but it was viewed or shown in a different way. But if the artist is creating with no reference to reality, then the artwork is considered to be non-objective or non-representational. So please remember those are or that is the difference between the two. Alright, so now let's talk about non-objective art or non-representational art. So non-objective art takes nothing, okay, nothing from reality. So it is created purely for aesthetic reasons. Non-objective art is abstract or non-representational art. Okay, so non-objective art is still abstract in a way that it is non-representational. So it tends to be geometric and does not represent specific objects, people, or other subjects found in the natural world. So one of the best known non-objective artists is Wassily Kandinsky from 1866 to 1944. So he was the pioneer of abstract art. So let's take a look on this painting. So this is his art entitled Swinging in 1925. So if you're going to look at it, does it represent any object that you know? So I guess not, right? So this is an example of non-objective art. All right, another example, we have Black Square, Black Suprematic Square in 1915 by Kazimir Malevich. So it's just a black square with yeah, something on it. And The Swan 1915 by Hilma af Klint. Yeah, swan, but there's no swan in it. So it's not, yeah, we don't have or we cannot associate it with material or objects from the reality. All Alright, so that's it for lesson 2, the different types of visual arts. Again, the different types are representational, abstract, and non-objective art. So I hope that the differences between the three are already clear. So in that case, please answer the short quiz afterwards. So see you in our next lesson.